Welcome everyone to today's Explainer. I'm your host, and today we are completely bypassing the hobbyist stuff. You know, the smart light bulbs and home thermostats. Instead, we're going to build a complete, industrial-grade architectural blueprint for enterprise IoT deployments. If you're looking to scale connected devices across massive factories, global supply chains, or remote energy grids, well, you need a robust foundation. And that is exactly what we are constructing today. Let's get into it. Okay, so here is our logical 5-step blueprint for the day. We'll be moving through 1. The sheer scale of IoT. 2. Edge and containerization. 3. Choosing the right protocol. 4. Connectivity and AI trends. And finally, 5. Security and privacy risks.
Starting things off with Section 1, the scale of IoT and this massive data growth we're seeing.
To really build a solid foundation, we first need to understand exactly what we're dealing with. Take a look at this official ISO definition of the Internet of Things. It describes an infrastructure of interconnected entities, people, systems, and information resources, together with services which processes and reacts to information from the physical and virtual world. Now, I love this definition because it perfectly captures that IoT isn't just about, slapping a sensor on a machine. It's a complete reactive infrastructure that bridges the physical and virtual worlds. It's really about data driving real-world action.
And this infrastructure scales to a truly staggering degree. What's absolutely fascinating here is the visual proof that sensor data is exploding at 50 times the rate of traditional business data. Literally 50 times. So what should you take away from this? Basically, traditional cloud-only models, where you try to send every single byte of data up to a central server, are entirely doomed to fail under the weight. You'll just bankrupt yourself on bandwidth.
When we step into the enterprise realm, we're talking about the Industrial Internet of Things, or IIoT. This extends that massive scale, using networked actuators and smart sensors to actually drive robotic and software-defined production efficiency. In the industrial sector, this data scale is essentially weaponized to create unprecedented operational efficiency. But of course, that brings us to the ultimate question. How do we actually manage this tidal wave of information without completely collapsing our networks?
That leads us right into Section 2, Edge and containerization, and why processing data locally is a total game changer.
Every successful IoT deployment basically rests on these 3 distinct layers. Step 1 is edge computing, which processes data locally right there on the device to reduce latency and save your bandwidth. Step 2 is containerized applications, meaning we package our software workloads into portable, isolated units. And Step 3 is device management, which gives us centralized control over software updates across thousands of devices. Having this structure ensures your critical systems are going to keep running perfectly, even if the main internet connection suddenly drops.
To actually put this into practice, we can look at Portainer's IoT implementation checklist. Notice their heavy emphasis on defining a standard edge baseline, containerizing all workloads, and planning for offline operation. The absolutely crucial point here is that by rigorously following a specific logical checklist like this, system architects can avoid the massive deployment failures that constantly plague disorganized IoT projects. It's really all about standardizing the chaos.
All right, moving on to Section 3, choosing the right protocol and selecting the right path for your networking plumbing.
When it comes down to how your devices actually talk to each other, you basically have 3 core choices: MQTT, CoAP, and HTTP. This brilliantly illustrates your options. MQTT is your default workhorse for about 90% of use cases. CoAP is your ultra-low power option for constrained devices. And HTTP? Well, it has a very high battery impact, so it should be kept as far away from your battery-powered edge sensors as possible. Let's dig into that MQTT versus CoAP matchup just a bit more, because honestly, it's a decision that trips up a lot of architects. MQTT excels with reliable delivery and persistent sessions over TCP. CoAP, on the other hand, is strictly optimized for deeply constrained devices on UDP mesh networks, where power savings are way more important than guaranteed delivery. So, if you're torn between the top 2, just remember this simple rule. MQTT guarantees the message arrives, while CoAP is for when saving every single milliwatt of power is your absolute highest priority.
And a quick but super important warning about HTTP, which of course is what runs the web. The per-request connection overhead with HTTP drains sensor batteries 3 to 10 times faster than MQTT on cellular networks. That is massive. Seriously, never use HTTP on a battery-powered edge sensor because those constant TCP handshakes will kill your devices in the field in record time. Just save HTTP for your gateway layers and your cloud APIs. Let's shift gears to Section 4, Connectivity and AI Trends, and look at the future of IoT. ESE's 2026 predictions report outlines 5 massive structural shifts that are going to redefine global IoT deployments over the next couple of years. We're seeing a really fragmented 5G landscape across different regions, the rise of 5G fixed wireless access as a total killer enterprise app, network operators straight up abandoning low-margin IoT platforms, new complexities with SIM standards, and the dawn of what they're calling sentient AIoT.
Let's look a little closer at that SGP32 standard, which ESI aptly names the DIY delusion. SGP32 promises operator independence for your devices, but forcing enterprises to manage their own technical configurations and network profiles across millions of devices, that creates massive technical debt. Actually, let me rephrase that. It promises independence, but it can easily trick enterprises into accidentally becoming their own virtual network operators. And trust me, unless that's your core business, that is an absolute operational nightmare.
And then, of course, there's the AI factor. We are entering the era of sentient IoT Inc. Autonomous AI agents managing supply chains rely entirely on dependable IoT data streams to prevent catastrophic business hallucinations. Think about it. As we hand control over to AI, your IoT sensors are no longer just collecting passive data. They are providing the absolute ground truth that prevents autonomous AI systems from making terrible, incredibly costly business decisions. The data quite literally has to be flawless.
Finally, we've reached Section 5. Security and privacy risks and protecting the perimeter.
We are facing a stark new reality here. Hybrid IoT botnets now have the bandwidth and reach to heavily disrupt enterprise operations. This convergence means we aren't just dealing with the old cliché of a hacked smart thermostat anymore. No way. We are facing highly sophisticated hybrid botnets capable of launching distributed attacks that can literally take down critical enterprise infrastructure.
So where are these attacks coming from? According to Bitdefender's 2025 security report, the firmware supply chain becomes ground zero. Vulnerabilities in shared libraries, SDKs, or update mechanisms can silently propagate through multiple brands. This is a brilliant insight because it reveals that hackers aren't attacking single devices anymore. That's way too slow. Instead, they are poisoning the very firmware updates in shared software libraries that power millions of systems all at once. So, how do we fight back? Well, here are your mandatory perimeter defenses. You absolutely need verifiable software bills of materials, continuous firmware integrity checks, tight network segmentation, automated anomaly detection, and federated learning to preserve privacy without compromising your analytics. To survive this new threat landscape, enterprises must enforce these non-negotiable security practices. You have to demand complete transparency into every single line of software running on your networks.
And that brings us to a really crucial question for the future. As our AIoT devices become increasingly context-aware, at what point does highly efficient operational telemetry cross the line into intrusive mass surveillance? It's a critical ethical challenge to leave you with today. As we harvest all this incredible, granular data to optimize our businesses and feed our AI models, where exactly do we draw the line on privacy? Think about that as you build your next deployment. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.